Hi, everybody. John Harris here with Billy Smith, my pal, my partner, my co-host. How the heck are you, buddy?
Ho ho ho! We're
Ho,
doing just fine, Johnny.
ho, ho,
How about
ho.
you,
Why do you keep
yourself?
calling out my ex-wives? You've got a wife already, buddy. That's all right. I don't care. They're ex-wives for a reason.
There you
Fucking
go. How
around,
you doing?
fucking around with them fucking elves while I'm out delivering packages to bitch. All right, all right, hanging in there. How about you?
Good, good, good. Getting ready for the big day for the little one.
Yeah, that's right. You got a little one in there now. It's going to be a lot of fun for her.
Yeah.
And you guys too, probably. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch it. Take plenty of pictures, pal. Have some fun.
Yipper.
Before we get started, let's let you know that we're being brought to you as everything is on Public John Media by Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey, for all your real estate needs, whether it be personal, residential, business, whether you want to rent, buy, lease, or sell. You can contact my friend Dennis and Graldi and the folks down at Vineland Realty Corporation. Their phone number is 856 690 9482. Once again, that's 856 690 9482 for all your real estate needs in South Jersey area. That's the Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue. Pop down there for the holidays in Vineland, New Jersey, and go see Dennis and the crew. Go see Helen. Tell them here at Public John and from the cheap seats, where me and Billy sit every week for you guys during the football season, especially. Let them know that we sent you, and hopefully that'll do something for you. We don't know, but hey, what's the worst could happen? So, uh, ready, Bill? Let's segue. First off, we'll go with the with baseball. They're tinkering with the rules a little bit, the new rules that they put in, but it doesn't look like anything major. They're cutting the pitch clock down from 20 to 18 seconds for something or another. I think it's who knows what it is. And they're tinkering with stuff, minor things, but they're not taking anything out of play. All those rules are staying. So the big bags, the throws to first, and the pitch clock is staying, all those things, which we knew it would. There's no 1 year
Right.
experiment with these things. Once they put
No.
them in, they're staying in. So uh, the Los Angeles Dodgers signed Japanese pitcher Yamamoto. I looked up his stats, 1.27 ERA. The guy in Japan, at least, is a beast, winning the equivalent of the Cy Young Award. Um, I don't know what you would call it and don't really care. It's just the same award that we have here. Supposedly he's a monster. But what I don't get, 232 million, I think, over 10 years, something like that, or 220 over 10 years. So in that 10-year span, they're going to pay him and Shohei Ohtani, the Dodgers are $1 billion when you combine the two salaries.
Good
Unbelievable.
player.
Now, don't get me wrong, Ohtani is deferring most of his, but it's still going to be a guy I know posted something on Facebook, said, "Hey, congratulations to the Dodgers. They got a great team. Come to the ballpark. Dodger dogs are now $50 each."
Yeah.
There it's I'm not going to go off on that tangent, but one day I probably will about what's happened to us with sports and society and money and the people that don't have can't really see the games, like we used to when we were kids. So uh, football is a good example. Thank God that I don't think it's going to be a great game today between Buffalo and the Chargers, but you can only watch it on Peacock. It's like Thursday night football. You can only watch it on Amazon. Um, that's not to me. That's not right. Um, but it's all about money but well, that's another day. That might even be an
Yeah.
essay I put on a blog somewhere because that's how much it's starting to get on my nerves. Not just football, but sports in general doing it.
Mhm.
So, but let's
Absolutely.
go to why we're really here for today anyway. From the cheap seats, Christmas weekend 2023, week 16. We both already won game one Thursday night with the Rams, winning and covering. Bill was right on the over under. He took over, I took under. So Bill's ahead of the game already. Last week we both did pretty well. Bill got me on the odds. He did better with the spread. But we're both in pretty good shape now. And right near 60% for the season. So we're Bill's at 61% on his picks, 57.8% against the spread. And he's catching up to me actually in over under as well with 56.8. You had a good week there, pal. I am 54.8% on picks. I was ahead. You're catching me. You caught me. You're passing me. Percentage wise, I'm right behind you at 55.5 against the spread. I was ahead of you. You caught me and passed me. You're starting to kick it in, buddy. And then 58 to almost 60% on over under. So you really kicked in this past week on over under. You had a great week, which helped catch you up with it. So that's good. I'm glad for you. You were holy cow. You were like 8-8. I don't know. But I sucked. So it was bad.
Yeah. Ride the hot hand when you can, folks.
Ride it when you can, baby. Make that money. You folks got to remember, we're actually picking against Vegas's predetermined odds when we do this, and we're still at like 60%. So that'll tell you that whichever system you go with, it works. Whether you like Bill's more analytical system or my eye test, it works. So congratulations, pal. You had a good week. We're ready to rock and roll with picks.
Yes, sir. Let's get it on.
All right. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. The Bengals are now picked by 2.5. That's the earlier game today. I think it's at 3:30 your time, or 4:30 your time, I think. Against Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph is the new starting quarterback for the new/old starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Still going against Jake Browning from Cincinnati, who's filling in for Burrow the rest of the season, but showing that he can play quarterback in the NFL. I've taken Cincinnati and the over. It's a 38.5 point over under.
I did the same thing. Pittsburgh on a 3-game losing streak, and their offense is just dismal. So it could even be worse than dismal, I guess, because
it's not the old Chevy Chase line in Caddyshack. It's not good. It's not good.
Yep. So I did the same thing across the board.
Gotcha.
Cincinnati across the board.
Yep, that's right. Over. Cincinnati and the over. Yep. 12 points. It was 12.5. It went down to 12 for some reason. Buffalo at LA to play the Chargers. Over under is 44. I took Buffalo across the board in the over.
And I did the same thing.
Okay.
The Chargers is sticking up the joint worse than Pittsburgh, I think so.
Yeah.
12 points is a hefty number, but I think Buffalo's one of the teams I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to touch them in the playoffs. Them and the Niners right now, I wouldn't want to go near. In one in each conference, I wouldn't want to go near either one. Detroit, Minnesota. Detroit's picked by 3. It's 47.5 over under. I went with Detroit, but I went with the under here. I think Minnesota's going to struggle because of the quarterback situation again. Though he played well, not good enough to me. So, and Detroit's
I was back
on offensively again.
Yeah, I was back and forth on this game because Minnesota at home's pretty good, and they need to win more than Detroit. But I'm still leery of the quarterback Mullins. He did play well last week, but I'm going to take Detroit also. But I'm going to take the over because I think it could be a shootout.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on the over under, but I went with the under. Because if Detroit does blow them out, then Minnesota might not score enough to even make it that. But that's But then again, they might get desperate and hit a couple plays. So you never know. Green Bay, Carolina. Green Bay picked by 4. It's in Carolina, and it's a 38 point over under. I took Green Bay, but I took the under because I think Carolina had their big Super Bowl week last week. I think they're done. They just don't score points. And Green Bay is so inconsistent.
Yeah, and I think they have at least one receiver out, two receivers that are questionable, so they may not score much. I think Carolina's got to run the ball, and I think that's what Green Bay is going to do. So I took the same thing. I took Green Bay, but I took the under also.
Okay. Seattle, Tennessee. Seattle's picked by 3.5. It's a 41.5 point over under. I took Seattle across the board with an over.
And
Only 'cause-
I did the same. I did the same thing. Tenenbaum's probably going to be, or Tannehill is going to be the quarterback for Tennessee this week. So
Oh, is he? He's gonna instead of Levis?
yeah, Levis is hurt. And,
Okay.
I guess well he's questionable, but I think they're leaning on Tannehill. So that could help open up the running game for Tennessee a little bit. But
Yeah, they
I
did
still
run the
think.
ball better when Tannehill was QB for some reason. I don't know why, but you're right.
But,
I was going to stick with Seattle in the over as well, though.
yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, Seattle on the over. They're in the playoff hunt. So.
All right. Cleveland and Houston. The Browns are picked by 3. Stroud looks like he is still going to be out. He has not passed concussion protocol yet.
Yeah, he's
So
out,
Davis
and
Mills will be starting.
they're another one that they're in the playoff hunt, but they're fading also, and without Stroud, they're
Yeah,
not moving the ball. So I'm going to take Cleveland across the board and take the under.
that's what I did. Okay.
We're pretty close this week.
Yeah. Indiana and Atlanta. The Colts are picked by 2.5. It's in Atlanta, and it's a 45.5 over under. I took Indy and the under.
And I did the same thing. Actually, the Colts are getting 2.5.
Really, they're picking. I had
Yeah,
down here
yeah,
the Colts
yeah.
given
No,
two and
yeah,
a half.
no, they're getting 2.5, and I don't know why.
I don't either, so I'm still sticking with the Colts.
Yes, me too.
I guess which automatically makes them both, upset picks technically. Washington and the Jets. This is one that's a weird one to me too. The Jets are getting 3. Or the Jets, yeah, the Jets are getting 3.
What? No,
Well, no,
Washington
they're
getting
giving
three.
up 3. They're giving up 3.
Yeah, yeah.
37. That's what I didn't understand really. I don't know Washington's quarterback situation. I thought Sam Howell was getting benched, but I'm not sure. Oh, Atlanta's picked because for some reason they put Heineke back in. So I guess they figure he's a better starter than Ritter,
Yeah,
which
that
probably is.
in the home field
And they are
advantage, I
home.
guess.
But I still think Indy's got too much for
Yeah,
him. And Indy needs the game. Well, Atlanta does too, because even though they have a crappy record, they're still in the hunt for that division lead. So
yep.
Washington and the Jets. Yeah, the Jets are giving 3 points to Washington. And I still took the Jets and the over at 37. 37 is a low number. Both teams will
Yeah,
give up some kind of
yeah,
defensive turnover game or something like that. So
yeah. Well, actually, I didn't even pick this one. I just realized I didn't pick it, and it's definitely a coin flip. Um, but I'm with you. I think I like the Jets, and but I'm going to take the under.
okay. And in all honesty, that's probably the better bet, the under bet. Hot off the presses, Lawrence is going to play. He did clear concussion protocol for Jacksonville. They are now picked by 1. They were 2-point underdogs yesterday, but now that he's going to play, Jacksonville is a 1-point favorite. The over under is 43. It's in Tampa Bay. Because Lawrence is going to play, I took Jacksonville in the over.
And I did the same.
Okay. Dallas and Miami. Miami's now picked by 2. In Miami, it's a 40. It was 50, but it's down for some reason. They took a half a point away. It must be just betting trends. 49.5 points on the over under. I'm taking Miami. I'm going to take the under. I don't know. It's a hunch more than anything else, but
Yeah, and I think Tyreek Hill is still questionable, but
last I knew he was
leaning
playing.
leaning into
I heard
playing.
this
Yeah,
morning he was going to play.
yeah. So I'm taking Dallas in the over.
Okay. Ooh. We finally got one where we're
Yeah, one
different.
different.
Where we're different pick there. I think we're both, yeah, everything else was the same so far. All right. Except over unders. We got some over under differences.
Yep.
Arizona and Chicago. It's weird because to me, this is the nothing bowl. This game means nothing. Maybe a draft pick scenario for Chicago, who's already got Carolina's draft pick.
Mhm.
So they might get 2 of the top 5 or 6 draft picks. But Arizona is, or Chicago is favored by 4. It's in Chicago. The over-under is 43. Don't ask me why, but it's been bugging me. I even originally had Chicago down here, but my initial thought, and it was pretty predominant, was to take Arizona. So I switched it. I'm taking Arizona because I'm not changing my mind on things like I did last week that kicked my ass. So out of my, I think 5 or 6 losses, 3 to 4 of them were games I switched, which I would have won if I didn't switch them. So,
Yep.
so it's 43 on the over under. I'm taking Arizona and the under.
All right. I like the way Chicago's been playing. They've been in the games, and I just think their defense is a little too much for Arizona. I'll take the Bears, and I'll take the over because I think Fields is going to be throwing to DJ Moore, and he should have a
Yeah,
field
you
day.
and you could very well be right. Let's face it, this is an upset pick, but
Hmm.
for me, but just something in my head kept saying all week long, which is weird because it's a nothing game, but it kept saying take Arizona, take Arizona, take Arizona. So this way I'll find out if one of the voices in my head is a jackass. And I'm expecting it to be that way.
Right.
New England goes to Denver. It's a 35.5 point over under. Denver is picked by 7. I thought it'd be kind of high, but I took Denver to win the game, but New England to cover. Um, so that's what I've got. And the over 35.5.
Yeah, I got Denver winning this because they're still in the hunt for the playoffs, also
Yeah.
outside chance. I like the over, and I think I'm going to give the 7. New England, I think, is just packing it in right now. I don't see
Yeah,
them
you're probably
needing to
right.
play
I'm
for
taking a
anything.
chance on New England. I think Zappy has been a slight upgrade from Mac Jones. Denver proved that everybody was touting their defense for a while, but then they proved last week it wasn't as good as everybody thought. So, but New England's offense is terrible. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. I may. This will be my first change of the week. I think, Bill. I got to
Don't
do
let
it.
me talk you into it.
No, I've been toying with that in my head too, and I was taking a chance on New England, but like you said, Denver's in the playoff hunt. They need this win. New England, they packed it in, then had somebody else come check the baggage and repack it. I mean, they're gone. I mean, um, so they're gone quicker than Bill Belichick out of New England after game 16 or 17. I mean, it's happening. So I'm going to go with you with Denver across the board in the over. That one is Sunday night football. Then we start getting into Christmas, where there are 3 games Christmas day/night. First off,
Mhm.
how about those Las Vegas Raiders going to Kansas City? The over under is 40.5. It's a 10.5 point spread. Kansas City picked by that. I am taking the Chiefs to win the game, but I'm taking the Raiders to cover. It's a divisional game. Uh, Antonio Bryant's got them playing lights out. Really, they're playing as well as they could. Um, so I think that Vegas is going to hang tough. The Chiefs' offense still isn't what it used to be, and probably won't be this season.
Mhm.
So I'm going with the Chiefs to win the game, but I think the Raiders will cover, and I'm going with the over 40.5.
And I'm doing the same thing.
Okay, so there we go. Okay,
40
see.
and a half, 40 and a half is real low for this.
Seems low. It does seem low. Um, I mean, even the Chiefs without an offense seem to score 17 or 20 at least. And last week was the first time they said in like 2 years the Chiefs didn't score at least 20. I don't see that happening again. And I think the Raiders, to beat them, are going to have to score more than 20. And I do kind of see that happening. The Raiders are playing tough, man.
Mhm.
Give them credit. I don't like them to root for them. But
Right.
like we've said, when it comes to money in your heart, you got to go two different places. And logically, I think the Raiders are playing. If he doesn't get that job, and Antonio, if he doesn't get that job, something's wrong with Mark Davis because
Yeah.
he's infused a team spirit in there. I think they just need a couple more players, and they'll be contenders next year for.
Well, if you ever look at Mark Davis with that haircut, something's wrong with him
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
true.
what.
You got that right. There is something wrong with him anyway. They put the bowl on his head to get the haircut, and the bowl says, "We don't want no part of this. Don't give us credit for this." That is like, why just shave your head, dude? Seriously, if that's the real reason, shave your head. If it's not, talk to somebody. You got some cash, get somebody to help you, pay somebody to give you some advice, something,
Yeah.
because it's bad. But when you got millions or billions, whatever he's got, you can wear whatever you want. You want
Yeah.
to look like you want to look like the white great pumpkin. Go ahead. I don't care. Good for you. Just send me a check and you can look like whatever you want. I don't care.
There you go.
Yeah. At 4:30 Eastern tomorrow, the Giants go to Philly. It's still a 13.5 point spread for Philly. It's a 43 over and under. I took Philly to win the game, but I took the Giants with Tommy Cutlet to cover the 13.5, but I do think it'll be over. I think it'll be a 24-20, 24-21 game Giants or Eagles. Eagles will win a close one, probably a field goal in the end, but the Giants are going to hang around and make it tough, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm giving them a little bit more. I think I'll win by a touchdown, but I'm taking the Eagles, and I'll
Okay.
gladly take the 13 points. But I'm going to take the under because the Eagles are struggling, Giants are struggling. Um,
Okay. And that makes sense. It does. I mean, I took a chance on the over in all honesty, and I know that. So, and last but not least, this is the game of the week, or should be anyway. Many, many people, and that might include me right now with using the old eye test for the season, are picking the Baltimore Ravens and San Francisco 49ers as your game of the week. It could turn out to be the game of the season. It is a 47-point over under. San Francisco, I'm sorry, is picked by 6 now. It was 5.5. It went up to 6. I took the Niners to cover. I took the Niners to win, and I took the over.
yeah, this could be a Super Bowl preview also.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
even though I'm not a Ravens believer when it comes to big games.
Yeah.
Um, but I did the same thing. I took the Niners at home, and if as long as they keep rolling, I'm going to give the 6 and take the over also.
Okay. That's what I did too. So we only have two different games, really, as far as picks are concerned. And both of them, really, in my case, well, Miami Dallas is going to be close, I think. You
Hmm.
took Dallas, I took Miami. We both took them across the board. You took the over, I took the under. Uh, the Bears in Arizona. Why I took Arizona, I still don't know, but I'm not changing it. Uh, you took the Bears across the board. I took Arizona across the board. Again, you took the over. I took the under. I That might be the only two games where we're different as far as
Yeah,
picking and even against the spread. Couple
yeah,
surprises. I said mine. You said yeah. I had that too, and I was like, holy cow. Um, I'm
yeah.
looking.
Getting back to the Jets in Washington. I think I'm just going to because that was a coin flip for me. I'm
Yeah,
still going to take the Jets, but I'm going to take the Jets, but I'm going to take Washington to cover.
you want to change that to Washington to cover then?
Yeah, that could be
Okay.
like a 14-13 game or something. So.
You might be right. So I'll change that. All right, that's changed. So we got 3 games difference at least on the spread. Over under, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games difference on over under, and one's already decided, which you won, which was Pittsburgh I'm sorry, New Orleans and the Rams. Far as any injuries and quarterbacks, we pretty much discussed them. The biggest one being T.J. Stroud. I will say for San Diego, well, I almost said San Diego. Well, I did say San Diego just now. Chargers. I don't know. Last I knew, Keenan Allen wasn't going to play.
Yeah, I think that's what they're leaning toward. I mean, he's still questionable, but I think he's leaning on that.
Yeah,
And
just
they're on their backup. They're on their backup quarterback.
yeah, I don't think you put him out there, to be honest with you. That's me personally, but
Yeah, there's no need to.
no,
You know,
there really isn't.
even,
Uh,
even if they went outright, they're 8-9 and 8-9. They're
yeah,
not gonna get
they're eight,
the
nine, or
AFC.
9, 8. They're done. It's toast. They're like overcooked bread. They're toast, baby. It's over. I think that's it for Miami. It looks like Tyreek Hill will play. He is listed as questionable, like you said, but uh, I think his wife probably sent him a text and said, "Play. You took off a week. Go play, asshole." Uh, probably has incentives on the line, so she's like, "Get in there. You need more yardage and catches. I need that new car, baby. Mama needs a new pair of shoes."
Yeah, because he was on track to get 2,000 yards.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe that's an incentive. That's a realistic one for him. So he might not get there now, or probably won't now. But uh, and that might have been part of why he still wanted to keep playing that week. He got hurt too. So,
Right.
but playoffs coming, you got to be careful. It wouldn't surprise me if for some reason Miami gets a big lead, or even if Dallas gets a big lead, that he gets yanked because you want him to heal up and be ready for late in the season games if this one gets out of hand. So, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be a high scoring affair, and it's going to be a close game. I think in the end too, could be 41-38 or something like that.
Hmm.
But there we go. That's pretty much it. Unless you have something else, Bill. Like we said, Yamamoto for the Dodgers was signed was signed out of Japan, where they paid $50.6 million just to be able to talk to the Japanese team to let him go. And now he's got a 200 and I believe it's $20 million contract for 10 years. It's crazy. Either 220 or 230, something like that.
No, I think the last I saw was 325.
Oh, let me double
Unless that
check.
changed. Yeah,
You might be right.
I think it's 325. So
Yes. Yep. I got it here. 320. Between 320, 325. You're
yeah,
right. For 10 years.
yes.
The other part of that is that you got Shohei Ohtani signed for over 700 million for supposedly 10 years. He's deferring a lot of his till afterwards, but in the time frame that those guys get paid, that's $1 billion for 2 players.
Hmm.
And the one is signed as a dual threat, but won't be able to pitch this season. And you don't know if
Right.
he's going to be able to come back and pitch like he used to because it's his second Tommy John surgery. I mean, take a look at Noah Syndergaard. Never the same. So some guys come back and flourish, and Ohtani did that once before. Other guys don't. So
Yeah.
other than that, Juan Soto goes to the Yankees in a trade. So San Diego cuts some payroll. Uh, I don't know if that's the guy they should have traded, but that's just me. He's going to have a monster year, probably in a 320-foot or 310-foot
Oh yeah.
field porch. The only thing
Hmm.
would be better is maybe Boston's pesky pole or something right down the line is
Yeah.
like a little league fly ball home run. Other
Hmm.
than that, nobody's got a shorter porch in right field so Soto's going to probably tear it up there. If they get Stanton healthy and he stays healthy, and you get Judge, that's
Judge.
murderer's row right there. That's a literal murderer's row with a lefty in between them. You got to put the lefty in between them, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So, boom, boom, boom. It's
Uh,
trouble.
and I'm an
And
Oriole
Soto's a
fan, so
great
that's why
defensive player. That's the key too.
I'm more aggravated with that. They're in the same division as my team.
Yeah, and I am too because I'm a Red Sox fan, so I'm in the
Yes.
same boat.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, we're in the same boat. Um, so, but you don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, the Yankees were dead last year, so is that enough to put them over the hump? Their pitching's still not great. So they
Yeah.
got Garrett Cole and in a cast
That's
of
about
thousands.
it. Yeah.
So we'll see what
And
happens.
they got a depleted farm system too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they've traded away a lot of their prospects to get, and they traded away more to get Soto.
Hmm.
So, and actually traded a starting pitcher to San Diego. Not a star, but he'll eat up innings, which is what the Padres need. They need pitching badly. So they had to make that call.
Hmm.
That's really about it. NBA still going. There's already talk of MVP stuff, but it's only a third of the way through the season, so that's a joke to me. It's just hype. Um, the Lakers hung a banner for the in-season tournament, and I don't know if they've won a game since. So, and to me, that's just a joke too. I mean, even Kobe Bryant used to say there should be no banner hanging up there except championship, full season championship banners.
Hmm.
Uh, so this thing to me is just a joke, even though it is what the NBA wanted. It's like hang it separate from the other things, but they had a
Yes.
ceremony and all that crap. But to me, it's just
I think it's even foolish in season tournament. But,
yeah, it's all marketing. That's all it is, Bill. It's
yeah.
all
Yep.
money. Let's make some money doing this, and it's ridiculous. I will say, Philadelphia, I think, is playing better than everybody thought. Boston struggled a little bit, but they seem to be back on track. The Lakers aren't doing very well at all. San Antonio broke their losing streak finally. Detroit's still in the middle of theirs, last I knew, at 24 straight losses.
Yeah. That's
They may
ridiculous.
pass the Sixers soon for the worst ever in NBA history. I
Hmm.
think the Sixers is 25 and Detroit's within a couple of games of that. But I can't understand it because they have some great young players. But
Yeah.
everybody's like, well, they need time to get together. Man, time's running out. Man, time went by. Time flew
Yeah.
like a bird, like a swallow going to Capistrano for the winter. It's gone.
Hmm. Yep.
So you got to do something. But that's pretty much it there. Hockey is going along. I will say Philly's playing a lot better than everybody thought. They lost a tough one last night in overtime. Uh,
Yeah, they were down 5-1 in the first period. And I was like,
yeah. So
holy
they get a
mackerel.
point out of a game they never should have got a
Yeah.
point out of,
Yeah.
and lose 7-6. I mean, but good for them. But you know, I I, I keep mentioning them
I
only
know
because
your take.
oh,
Yeah.
you know, my team's struggling a little bit, but they'll be all right. I think they'll straighten themselves out. And they got an old school flyer coaching them. That's what you need, baby. He's not going to
Yep.
let them linger. So there's some exciting guys, and hockey's starting to come around a little bit. So it's almost that time of year to pay attention to that as well, that and the NBA. But we still got NFL football. Let's keep an eye on that. Um, Playoffs are coming. Some teams' developments are getting interesting. What is KC really like? Is Philly going to struggle or use the Giants game to come back and become something? Easiest
Hmm.
three games in the league left: Giants, Cardinals, Giants. Is what they have.
Yep.
If they don't win all three of those, then they don't, as far as I'm concerned, they don't belong.
Right.
But Giants always play them tough in that division rivalry, so you never know.
Hmm.
Dallas has got tough games. Uh, Indy's got a shot at making the playoffs still, but they got to win some games. Uh,
Hmm.
so you got some teams in there that
The Browns are playing well.
I
What
was
I
going to say
mean,
the Browns are playing
Flacco, but
well.
hasn't played in like 5 years. I mean,
Yeah, Joe Flacco, it looks like I would say the Joe Flacco of old, but to me, he was never great. He was always
right.
good. He was good enough. He's playing great football right
Hmm.
now. So he's helping carry Cleveland. So it's interesting to sit back and watch some of these guys, the old guys and the young guys coming through. Uh, Vegas, though they even if they well, they won't probably make the playoffs. They dug too deep a hole, but making the right move. They got to keep this interim coach. I think the Chargers will probably try to get somebody big to come in and handle their defense, because that's what they need. Their defense is terrible, which puts more pressure on the offense that can't deliver. So, but they got Herbert, so they got a foundation to start with. But yeah, all that's next season stuff. Worry about that later. But if you don't have anything else, Bill, I'm saying let's rock and roll. Let's go enjoy the games. Tell
Yeah,
everybody.
I got to go do some Christmas shopping, you know.
Yep. Go finish that Christmas shopping, folks. Go get ready for the holiday, and it's falling right after the weekend, so it's an extended weekend. Everybody enjoy. The kids are off from school. Enjoy it, everybody. For my pal Billy Smith, for Dennis and Graldi, and all the folks down at Vineland Realty Corporation, go see them, folks. They're great people. There's probably some cookies in there too. Knowing Dennis, he's probably got a little bit of a sweet tooth spread going on in the offices. So if you're in South Jersey, stop in at 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Go see Dennis and the folks at Vineland Realty Corporation, and they'll take care of your real estate needs. And you can also get a couple of free cookies, and tell them we sent you from the cheap seats here. Their phone number 856-690-9482. Billy, tell Janine and Nicole and T-Man and the little one Liliana that we here at the studios all say Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the games, my friend.
Will too. Merry Christmas, pal.
No problem. We will see you then. Enjoy it, everybody. Have a good weekend and have a great holiday.